The 2020 Genesis G90 driven. For 2020, Genesis has performed a styling update that makes the 2020 Genesis G90 look a decade newer than last year's model. The new design, along with some other updates, make the G90 more worthy of its flagship status. Still, this is a Korean car with a base price of $72,200, a combination that's going to be a tough sell regardless of the vehicle's merits, and despite the fact that its closest competitors are even more expensive. What does Genesis do to earn these big bucks? We spent a week in a top-of-the-line G90 5.0 Ultimate to find out. When Hyundai created its Genesis luxury division in 2017, it introduced a traditional full-size sedan as its flagship vehicle. The 2017 Genesis G90 had rear-wheel drive and an available V8 engine. It was 205 inches long, longer than a Cadillac Escalade SUV. It featured many high-end interior materials, tons of luxury features, and an extra quiet ride to justify its $70,000 price tag, which was already significantly lower than European competitors. In theory, this was a fantastic luxury conveyance, especially if you're being chauffeured in the back, an 8/10 ultra-luxury sedan for perhaps 7/10 of the price. But the 2017 G90 had a problem: it was dull. Its massive size and upright shape meant it wouldn't go unnoticed. Huge sedans are rare today. But nor did it announce itself. Its cautiously curved headlights and taillights could have come from a subcompact Hyundai Accent. Defenders argued that this conservative design made the G90 perfect for buyers who wanted luxury without showing off, but its sheer size and lavish cabin appointments seemed to call that into question. 2020 Genesis G90 exterior. Genesis scrapped nearly every exterior body panel for the G90's mid-cycle refresh. Good riddance. The overhauled 2020 G90 remains stately and conservative, not aggressively modern like the latest Lexus LS. But its details now complement the strength of its big, blocky shape. Say goodbye to the apologetically rounded headlights, the ones that drifted upward toward the windshield like you'd find in an economy car. Genesis brought the headlights lower and made them more rectangular, and, as an added flourish, bisected them with a horizontal LED strip. It replaced the old model's generic chrome grille with an intricately honeycombed inverted pentagon. The big grille and the new wheel design edge toward bling, but we'd say they stay on the right side of tasteful. Around back, meanwhile, an illuminated light bar runs between the two taillights, which are now horizontally oriented instead of last year's vertical ones. Genesis can't be accused of poaching this design from a competitor, and the look works from most angles. Dead on from the rear, though, the Genesis looks narrower than it is, so you wouldn't take it for a full-size flagship. The front end would also look even better stretched across a wider, more imposing body, but that would be purely a cosmetic benefit. There's no functional need for the G90 to get any bigger. 2020 Genesis G90 interior. Inside, the G90 is a mixed bag, at least for a $70,000 plus automobile. That is to say, it's splendid by most standards, and downright breathtaking in others, but it leaves some room for improvement given the price. The dashboard is elegant yet user-friendly, a tough combination to pull off. New open-pore wood trim removes the overly glossy feel of last year's G90, and it liberally coats the dashboard, console, door panels, and even the front seat backs and the fold-down center rear armrest. Rich Napa leather upholstery and a microfiber suede headliner are standard. And Genesis boasts that buttons feature genuine chrome plating. This year also brings an updated infotainment system, with more features in the big 12.3-inch touchscreen. Previously, Genesis just stretched out normal functions across the big screen, but it now lets you show multiple displays at once. The system also now supports Android Auto and Apple CarPlay smartphone integration. You can operate it using the touchscreen or buttons and knobs located on the center console between the front seats. For everything that's outstanding, though, there's a nit to pick. To start, the infotainment system, while comprehensive and user-friendly, isn't luxury car amazing. This is an era of luxury cars whose huge screens integrate with the gauge cluster, offer augmented reality GPS directions, or respond before you can even touch them. The G90s is more like that of a well-executed mainstream car, like the Hyundai Sonata and Palisade that have a similar infotainment system. An imperfect finish around the front seat cupholder lid, a wobbly turn signal stalk, and cheap-feeling interior door handles round out the niggles that detract from the G90's overall cabin ambiance. We don't mean to say that any competitor is
If you liked this video, please share your thoughts in the comments below and don't forget to hit the subscribe button.